Hey everybody, Scott here. You ever found yourself feeling stuck? Ever feel like you're in a bit of a rut, like you're going nowhere? Well, I'm sure you have. I have as well at various points throughout my life. Even recently, I felt a little stuck, as I think we all have. I was recently studying for an upcoming sermon series in the book of Philippians, and something occurred to me. This book, Philippians, is one of the prison epistles, along with the books of Ephesians, Colossians, Philemon. These were written during the Apostle Paul's first Roman imprisonment. At the end of the book of Acts, the last two verses, it says that Paul spent 2 years in his rented quarters in Rome under house arrest. Ironically, it was this period of incarceration that provided Paul the time and the safety to write these prison epistles. And while he was there, he was visited by a man named Epaphroditus, who was a pastor at a church in Philippi. And he brought Paul a care package. So blessed was Paul by this care package and by Epaphroditus' visit that he wrote a thank you letter, and he sent it back to Philippi with Epaphroditus. That thank you letter is what you and I know as the book of Philippians. And the message here is that that letter and numerous others were written. These how-to manuals for the church, both then and now, they were formed during a time of hardship and isolation for Paul. You and I, we have a tendency to quit. We have a tendency to look at our circumstances and let that dictate our service to God. Paul could have made excuses. He could have said, well, I guess I can't have an impact on the kingdom while I'm stuck here in jail. I guess I'll have to wait for God to spring me before I can do anything for His glory. He didn't act that way at all. He was simply obedient. He listened to God, and he did what he could with what he had where he was. And it had a lasting impact. I see the same spirit in the Old Testament with the prophet Ezekiel, where he, like thousands of other Israelites, went into exile in Babylon in some form of a concentration camp. He could have got down, he could have wringed his hands, but he didn't. He was obedient to God. He stepped up, he ministered to those people, and he wrote what God told him to write. And as a result, we've got the amazing prophetic book of Ezekiel. Wherever you are, when you feel like you're in a rut, you're not in a rut. You're in a remarkable opportunity to serve the Lord in an unconventional way. And He can show you how to do it because His imagination is much bigger than yours. His ways, His thoughts are higher than ours. And you will be surprised how He can use you even in a time that you would have never chosen for yourself. Be encouraged.